What is going on, guys? Matt O'Leary back with another video. For today, we are going to get into a couple of different things. First, the New York Jets were awarded their compensatory picks in the 2024 NFL Draft. We'll talk about that as it's finalized, where the New York Jets will be picking in the 2024 NFL Draft. And of course, we'll do a little free agency primer, as there were like two nuggets that were worth mentioning today in a video. So the New York Jets were awarded 3 compensatory picks for the 2024 NFL Draft. And going into it, the Jets were more than likely going to get 3 7th-round picks. At least that's what most people assumed, and all those mock draft sites were giving the Jets the 3 7th-round picks. But instead, it was announced that the Jets are getting 1 6th, pick 218, and 2 7th-round picks, 256 and 257. 257, by the way, the last pick in the NFL Draft. Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy 2.0, maybe? Here we go. So as I said, the Jets were expected to get 3 7ths, so the Jets made out like bandits. One of the picks turns into a 6th-round pick. So in case you don't know, here's where the New York Jets are picking in the 2024 NFL Draft. First rounder is pick 10. Third rounder is 72. They have 2 4th-rounders, no 5th-round pick. So what they did a couple years ago, they traded Jacob Martin for a Jacob Martin and a 5th-round pick, the 2024 5th, for the Denver Broncos 4th-round pick. So that's where the second 4th-rounder comes from. They also have, so it's 112, 114. The 6ths are 187 and 218. And then the 2 7th-rounders are 256 and 257. So that's 8 total picks. The New York Jets do not have to, and probably should not be, making 8 draft selections, especially 6 of the 8 are from rounds 4 and beyond. What are you going to be getting for you in rounds 4 and beyond? With the Jets lacking towards the top of the draft, I would like to see the Jets move around a little bit. I don't want to see them stick and pick at 112, 114, 187, 218, 256, 257. In the past, Joe Douglas has shown a liking for drafting late round guys on the defensive side of the ball who are projects. Whether it's a guy like Jason Pinnock, who ends up converting to safety. That one worked out, even though it wasn't with the Jets, but that was their own stupidity for not rostering him and trying to sneak him onto the practice squad. Whether it's, drafting Nazrul Dean and Jamian Sherwood and trying to convert them from safety to linebackers, Zaire Barnes, Jarek Bernard-Converse. This would also be a time where maybe the Jets should take some gambles on the offensive side of the ball, considering how porous that unit's been over the last few years. I get they have a defensive-minded coach. I'm not saying ignore the defense completely, but so many of their draft picks tend to lean defensively, especially late. And really the only late round picks the Jets have hit on, like the big one that really, really jumps out to me is Michael Carter, the slot corner. And that's on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of these finds, Bryce Huff, UDFA, defensive side of the ball. Tony Adams, UDFA, defensive side of the ball. So I would like to see the Jets maybe do a little bit better job on the offensive side this year. Okay, now 2 free agency things. The first one is, remember yesterday I talked about Thomas Mostead, who was singled out by Aaron Rodgers as a priority free agent. Well, it's his birthday today. He turns 38 years old. And they want to bring him back, which is good news. I would like Thomas Mostead to come back, but he can't technically sign before the first day of the new league year, which is Wednesday, because of a technicality. He's currently on a veteran salary cap benefit, so he is unable to sign a new deal before then. Greg Zuerlein theoretically could sign before then, so I don't want to see those guys hit the market and leave. I would do everything humanly possible to retain this special teams unit. That includes Justin Hardy because of how good they were last year. And by the way, like as a punter, he's probably not going to make a whole lot of money. Like $2 million, something like that would be my guess where he ends up. Same thing for Zuerlein. Maybe Zuerlein gets like 3. Hardy at the most, I think, is going to get 3. It's worth it, I think, anyway, to allocate that money against the cap for those 3 guys who are pretty much exclusive special teamers because of how good they are in special teams. Ask Aaron Rodgers if special teams matters comes playoff times and see what his answer will tell you. because the Green Bay Packers lost a playoff game not that long ago because of special teams. And it's a unit that's a strength. The Jets don't have very many of those, right? It's like the defense is a top 3 unit. So it's the special teams, the offense historically bad, 32, last by a country mile. If they are even league average on the offensive side of the ball and continue to have top 5 units, we'll say, on defense and on special teams, the Jets could have a lot of potential in 2024. Last but certainly not least, we have a free agent signing, not from the New York Jets, but something that a signing that could potentially impact the Jets' plans. So Tim Patrick, wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, reworked a contract, 1-year deal with Denver to stay out there with the Denver Broncos. So he hasn't played in the last 2 years, unfortunately, because of injury, and maybe they are just going to end up using him for insurance, but names that continue to get floated around on the potential trade market, especially when you consider that it looks like they are open for business as they release their star safety. Is Courtland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy available via trade? The New York Jets, I think, are going to have to get creative to fill the wide receiver 2 spot. My preference of the 2 is Sutton. I know that he's older. I get Jerry Jeudy as a first-round pick. I'm not against Jerry Jeudy, but I honestly like how Courtland Sutton would complement what Garrett Wilson would do. They need to get bigger at the wide receiver spot. Yes, they have guys like Xavier Gibson who could work well underneath. Garrett Wilson is more of like a shifty guy as well. So getting a big body red zone threat, jump ball, throw it up to him. If you watched any Denver Bronco games last year, Russell Wilson, the whole offense is basically Russell Wilson's going to throw it up and Courtland Sutton's going to find a way to come down with the football in the end zone. And that's what happened. So there we go. It's going to be a very busy weekend and next week of free agency. So my plan is for Sunday to have a full free agency preview and breakdown at key positions and guys that the New York Jets should be looking for, why I necessarily wouldn't look for that guy in particular, stuff like that. So that'll probably be a little bit of a longer video on Sunday, but looking forward to doing that this weekend. And then other than that, we're just reacting to anything that's coming out Jets related. And we'll be keeping you covered right here on the channel. So don't go anywhere. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a like before you go. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.